Hi, I'm Manohaya from Emprise, and you're welcome to Emprise Fortnite Hackathons. Now, Emprise Fortnite Hackathons is a 2 week coding festival where we are going to introduce to the tools and technologies used in building softwares in the software industry. So, in these 2 weeks, we're learning a lot on how to build a website, run a mobile app, and also perform data analysis. So, stay tuned for more. So, what's computer programming? So computer programming is simply commanding a computer to execute a code, right? So it's kind of strange to be like, okay, how am I commanding a computer to command a code? It looks doesn't sound right, right? But when we say a command in programming, it simply means what? Script, right? Simply means what? Code, right? It simply means what? Source code, right? And what you see here is a command, right, to us. So we write command down in a form of script using a language, right? So there is a command, right? That's why I've written it down to a software to a software for the software to what interact with the computer hardware. So that was what tell the person tell the user say, okay, when you click on this, the computer hardware will take a snap. So when you click on it, it takes you a snap, right? Example, maybe some command written on a Facebook uh software that when you tap on the write a post on your wall, you're able to write something or post a picture on a wall, right? Or command that makes that to what? Make a tweet on Twitter. So these are command or script written down to create softwares, right? And these commands are such in a way that they run scripts, right? That they are scripts that are being run, right? Produce mobile apps, web apps, operating system, and other software, right? And then this one application type of software that looks very alien to newbies in computer programming, and that's console apps, right? So when you say console apps, it's kind of strange to newbies, right? But uh, these are simple software that we're going to use a lot in what in creating of softwares for us. The example of console apps are Windows command prompt if you're using Windows and terminal and a Mac terminal if you're using Mac OS, right? Okay, so when we say compilers and interpreters, compilers are compiler and interpreters are low level softwares that we write code to, right? So they take source code, right? They take written script, right? And bring it down, right? Interpret it down, right? Compile it down, right? To machine code for computer to understand, right? So, you know, programming is like writing a letter, right? Like you writing a letter for application for job, right? So you write a letter of application for job, right, to employers, right, to give you job, right. So you're writing a letter for an employer, and he gives you a job, right. So it's similar to programming. So you write scripts, right? You write letters, write scripts, but in programming the letters are called scripts, right? They are called source code, right? So you write them to compilers and interpreters to give us what? Software. To give us our software, right? And as you can see over here, these two compilers and interpreters are no nonsense guys, right? They're not like the normal employers that when you omit a colon or a semicolon, I mean they're going to overlook and give you the job, right? But with compilers and interpreters, when made just a colon and a semicolon, they are not going to run your software, right? They are not going to run your script. They're not going to run your script to give you what your software you want, right? So I mean, you write a letter to your loved one, right? For your loved one to get love, and your loved one is reading it. and see maybe some mistake, well, you can consider maybe say okay, maybe it was just some typing error, this stuff, right? So the same way we write a letter to allow ones to be loved, right? You also write what? Source code and script what? To compile it and interpret it, right? Give us our software. Now, this is how these steps, the diagram you see here is how our compilers and interpreters what? Compile and interpret our source code and give us our software, right? And give us our website, our mobile apps, and let us perform data analysis, right? Our software. So they take our source code, where is our letter of code or script, then they compile it and interpreters what? Translate it into machine code, right? The computers only understand what? Machine code. They don't really understand the languages, right? We used to write, right? So computers really understand what the machine code, which are this 1011, this kind of stuff, this kind of ASCII kind of code. So that's what computers understand, right? So they take the source code and they compile and interpret into what? Machine code for us to use, right? And this compilers to our software, right? But they are in a low level form, right? They are low level software, right? Which take our code what and give us our software by compiling and interpreting them for us. So there are over 100 programming languages in the world. Yeah, over 100. But in any field, in anything, they're going to be the top leads, right? In everything we do, they are the top lead in any part of the world or any association. So out of the over 100 languages, there are top lead languages that we use daily. There will be top 10 that we use in the industry a lot. So we shall talk about that. So, and out of the 100 programming languages too, they are being categorized into two main types, right? They are being what? Categorized into two main types. These are declarative languages and imperative languages. Examples of imperative languages are C++, JavaScript, C#, Python, C, and so on. An example of declarative languages are HTML, XML, JSON, and so on. So these are some example of some few example of programming languages out of the 100 we have, and these languages are some are very top notch that we use in the industry. Okay, so we want to show you some popular softwares and their language they used to build, right? So let's take Telegram for example. So Telegram, as you can see here, it's been built with Java, C++, and C, but mainly C++. That'll be the back end step. And if we go deep and check it GitHub page, we are going to see much more about it. So let's see Telegram's source code, right? So when you click on it, you can see this is a Telegram source code, right? A script used in creating a Telegram mobile app. So what you're seeing here is the Java Telegram mobile app, right? And mostly this one is been written in Java. Most of the languages is been written in Java. That's it shows to be 37.3. It shows 37.3%. And we also have C++ in it. That's 33.1%, and we have C that's 24.0%. So, and also written assembly. It has some assembly code in it. That's 1.9%. You know, assembly is a lower level language, right? It's a very low level language. And that's Go here, that's 1.4%, and other languages we have there. So this is the open source language of this is the open source language of Telegram, the Android version. So let's look at some of its source code and let's see how it looks. So let me see. Okay, so if you look here, it tells you what 3 days ago, right? Which means what? It has been updated 3 days ago. So it will update to 9.13. Looks like this. And here is a comment. When it's a comment, like kind of sentence, the reason why they made the update. So maybe the update to what, 9.13%. So there's a new update there. So let's check the source code for this. Let's see some code over here. Okay, so we are now in the directory. So when we say directory, directory simply means what? Folder in programming. So in coding a lot. So in the software industry, you hear about directory. It's the same on us, folder. So what you're seeing here is the SRC directory, SRC folder, right? When we say SRC means source code, right? So let's click on it and let's see the codes in there. So this one was updated 3 days ago. And we have 3 directories here. These are asset, Java, and rest. So the asset will be normally the pictures and the font and those stuffs, emojis. Yeah, but we are not interested in those stuffs. We are not interested. So let's go back and let's see the code itself, the Java code that runs the Telegram Android version. So we have here, let's say this, the .com. Okay, let's see. Oh, 4 years ago. Okay. Yeah, we should have clicked that matter. So what you're seeing here is code, right? You can see the end with what? .java. So any software that is open source written in Java will end with what? The file extension what called .java. So when you say file extension, is the name of the file that the file ends with. So example, normally you see a file like maybe a music file, like an audio music file, like popular like maybe Jackson.mp3, right? So the mp3 is what? The file extension, right? So what we have here is what? .java. So instant default config.java. So this is the file extension. So let's click and see what's in there. So yeah, so what you're seeing here is what? The source code. And this is being written in what? Java. So this is a Java code, right? You're seeing over here. This is a pure Java code. So this is a pure what? Java code you're seeing over here, right? So it's open source too. So if you learn how to write Java, you can come here and help in the development of Telegram, the mobile app for Android. You can help them in development, or maybe even add certain features to it that you have in mind to it. They need to be accepted, right? So yeah. And if you look very well, it looks similar to the one I showed on the slide. Yeah. So the commands, they only have scripts. Yeah. So that's it. Let's go back and let's see something over here. Uh we yeah, okay. Sorry. I want to show the contributors. Yeah, so we have over we have a lot of contributors. That's 16 contributing to the Telegram Android. So you can see them and their contribution. Link to the so what you're seeing here is the contribution of various contributors and their spike, right? So I mean, so if you become part of the contributors, you learn Java, you want to contribute, you come here, you're going to get some contribution. Will be Telegraph. Telegraph here. So let's check Bitcoin. Let's check another software now. You know, Bitcoin is a software. Right? So it's a software that sits on a technology called blockchain. So let's check. It's also open source. Let's check it online. We will get it on our. You can get this stuff on GitHub, and don't worry, we will register It will take you through registration of GitHub and where you can get it. That's fun. So GitHub is like a social media for we the programmers, right? Where you go there and write code and share it to others for people to view and stuff, right? So when you look at what they used to write GitHub, you see it's mainly written in what C++. C++. That's GitHub being written in, right? GitHub is being written in C++. And another languages what also written with it. In addition, that's Python, C, M4 Shell, Makafile, and all that. So these are other languages that are being written in addition to what C++ to create GitHub. Sorry, other languages written in addition with C++ to create Bitcoin, right? So let's check other softwares too. And let's see. So let's check Windows OS language. Again, let's see language. Let's see. Okay, so Windows is written in C++ too. Yeah. So let's check Mac OS. So Mac OS is also written in C++. But let's ask Google what's Mac OS written, right? So Mac OS is also written in what? C++, right? Mac OS written in what? C++. By program language C++. That's Mac OS. That's what C assembly. That's a very low level language. You know, C and assembly are very low level language, so they normally use this languages, write this stuff. And when we say low level languages, the language that sits very closer to the computer hardware, right? So they are very closer to it. So when you use write the software, it has speed and efficiency because it's very close to it. When we say high level languages are languages that are far away from the computer hardware. So for them to process, it will take time. It will take time for them to what get it being processed, right? So that's the difference, right? Yeah. So Mac OS is written in this languages, right? That's class. And Apple has its own program language called Swift. Swift is built in Apple, right? But C++ is a private kind of open source language that belongs to Apple, right? Anyone can use it. That's why Bitcoin Co uses to create their software. Okay, so out of all the languages, we will have to be using only two languages. That would be JavaScript and Python, right? I mean, we can introduce all to the over 100 languages. Not even the top 10 languages we have in the software industry. But we're dealing with only two, and these two are very powerful, which are JavaScript and Python. JavaScript is officially called ECMAScript, and its website ecma.international.org. I mean, it's also a free source tool language that you can use to create your own. It's not being owned by any company. So that's it. And we should also talk about Python, right? A Python language. We should also talk about that too. Yeah, so let's start with Python. So Python is a open source language, right? Designed by Guido van Rossum. Yeah, so it first appeared in 1991 and is an interpreter language, right? It's when you write Python, it uses an interpreter to bring it down to machine code, right? So so for you to use Python on your computer to write software, you first need to install its interpreter, right? So let's go to its official website python.org and let's see what's over there. So there's the official website of python.org. Python general. So yeah, we have the Python homepage. There's the docs, and it has also various tabs. So what we are come to do here is what, download the interpreter. Right, download Python so that we can write Python code with it. Right. So you click here. You come here and click here. Click on download. Right. Then it will download it to you. So it will automatically detect the OS you are using. So here we are using Windows. So Windows comes first. So yes, I use Windows. So when I click, it will download it fast. So for us to use. So I already have it been downloaded. So I won't click on the download to download. But you need to click on it to download it, right? Before you can write Python code, right? So after you've done with it, you can open your terminal and check whether it's been downloaded, right? So here you type py space, you give space, then dash hyphen uh the version. So we want to know the version you have here. So I have mine already downloaded, and I'm using Python 3.97. That was what I downloaded it. It's been a while. I made a download of it. So that's what I'm using on my computer right now. So this my version of Python I'm using. So when you download it, your version may differ. It doesn't mean you're on the wrong. Doesn't mean you downloaded a different thing. It's the same thing you downloaded, right? So let's download it for now and shall use it in our upcoming sessions. So that's what we only want to do with Python now. We want to download it. So we downloaded Python onto our computer now. Let's come to ECMAScript. That's JavaScript. So for JavaScript, we won't be downloading anything, right? Because it's already been downloaded for us. Because you're using a browser, and browsers have what? JavaScript rendering engines, right? So for Google Chrome, its JavaScript rendering engine is called V8. So V8 is the compiler for JavaScript. So JavaScript, they use compilers, right? Compile the code, right? So I'm using Google Chrome, and so my JavaScript is already being installed, so I can write JavaScript code, right? So let me show you. Let's press F12. Or better still, let's go to this place over here. There are 3 dots. You can see the 3 dots over there. The 3 dots over, you go there. Then you go to more tools. Then you come to developer tools. So this will send out what? Developer mode in the browser. So if this is your first time coming here, don't worry. You're sleeping here a lot. Yeah. A lot. Right. I'm using this a lot. So whenever you come here, it sends you first to the console app. So this is the console, right? Where you can write JavaScript code, right? Yeah, you can write JavaScript code. And it's been already installed in the browser and that's the V8 engine, the compiler. So we can write JavaScript code. So let's write a JavaScript code command. Let's say popular one console. Popular one is a .lock. Then we write a string. In coding, when it says string, it means what? Test, right? Main price. You open, close the parenthesis, close the bracket, and bring a semicolon. But in JavaScript, you can choose to what omit semicolon nowadays. But I still like to bring it there. to give me remembrance that okay, I'm still using what I've ended what a statement. So when I click, okay, there's a we have an error here. What's the problem? Okay, we didn't spell the console word. See, is there's no I didn't bring the S right. Uh, console dot lock console dot lock. Then we bring the uh let's see main price. I'm bringing the main price over here. Bring my semicolon to end the statement, right? Semicolon end statement. So you see I've written them. So let's perform a calculation, right? Let's perform some calculations. Uh, so what is seen here, they already predefined what commands, right? So we can write console those tabs and those tabs. So you can say console dot lock. See when I bring the dots, you see already predefined. So you can say console dot clear, console dot asset, console dot count, console dot direct directory, that's dir directory. You can say console dot error. So these are the inbuilt command. We also have console dot log. So we want to log into the browser console, right? So let's do some calculations over here. Maybe 2 plus 3. Sorry. What is gonna give us? Let's see what is going to give us. 2 plus 3. Let's see what that is. So it's 5, right? So with JavaScript, we've been able to what perform what an addition and write a test main price, and you can do a whole lot of stuff. Create mobile apps, do a lot of stuff, a whole lot of stuff with JavaScript, right? Mobile apps, perform data analysis, create a console application as we are doing here. We are creating console application because we are giving out console commands over here. We also use to create website, and that's where the strength of JavaScript is. JavaScript is very strengthful in what website. So that's what we're doing. So we're using JavaScript and Python, in which you have already downloaded our Python, and our JavaScript is already being installed for us. So we are ready to go. Now, before we start writing anything, right, we need a writing pad to write on, right? It's like you want to write a letter for job application to get a job from an employee. You get a writing pad and write it on, right? The same thing with software, right? You can write software code on anything. I mean, anything that can write on a sheet of paper, on a wall, or anything. But when it's time for you to compile it or interpret it, right, or give the compiler, you need to what? Write it on certain medium. That's what can compile them into code for you. Certain medium that what can the compiler interpreter can use to what compile it and give you what your software. So one of the popular medium is what Visual Studio Code, right? So Visual Studio Code is an IDE. Inside IDE, it means integrated development environment where we write code, right? So it's the cross-platform software. When we say cross-platform, means what this software can run on various what platform, various what operating system, right? Like Windows, Linux, and Mac OS. So you can write it there. So let's start. So we will need to what install it. We need to install what Visual Studio Code. So we are going to install this into our computer first. Before you can write any code, before you can write any code to create a software for us, to create a website for us, to create a mobile app for us, to create and perform a data analysis for us. So this is how it looks. UI. So it just comes straight to download. We're not going to go deep into that. We're not going to go deep into the official documentation of the stuff. No, no, no. So let's come straight to download and let's download it. Right. So you can see here, download for Windows. So by here, say that just type it. It's almost the same thing. Right? So I already have it on my PC. So I will not need to go through. But I mean, just simple. You just download it and it has an inbuilt wizard to direct you to call it. When you say wizard, wizard is a software that directs you to configure or install a software, right? So, so yeah, so when I click, it will send it to Windows. Are you using Windows for it or are you using it? So if you're using Windows, you click on the Windows for it to get VS Code for Windows. And you're using a Mac OS, you click on Mac for it to get VS Code for Mac. But for me, and if you're using a Linux, right? I'm sure some people be on Linux. Alright. You can click on it and give it to it. Right. But I'm expecting much people to be on Linux because I mean this course is a newbie, but maybe I'm sure maybe some people are from the admin part that they use Linux level. So if you're on Linux, I mean you have on a wild OS, right? So you Mac and Windows too, you have choice to download those stuffs. So I'm not going to click on download it because I already have it on my computer. So this is how it looks when you download it, right? This is how it looks when you download it, right? So you can write code, everything. You can create file and write HTML code and stuff. So we are going to go deep into that. When we will explain more about that very soon. So let's download other software we'll be needing it. So let's download other software that we will need. So we are using a browser, right? I'm using Chrome browser, right? But normally, if you're a developer, this Chrome browser is normally used for browser, right? And also for office work, right? Well, you can also use for coding, but Google has created one for programmers, a special one for programmers that we use towards code, right? So this one, there's more power being put into it for programmers to use towards code and what debug and do other software editing and debugging with it, right? So let's go to Chrome Dev. Chrome Dev. So that browser is called Chrome for developers. It's called Chrome Dev, right? So when you click on it, yeah, so as you can see, click on the Chrome. Google Chrome was built for the open source. You can see over here. Google Chrome for developers was built for the open web, right? So you click on this and it opens for us. So there is the Chrome for developers, as you can see over here. So you come here and you click and you download. So I already have it been downloaded, so I'm not going to click on the download to ready to download. I have it been downloaded on my PC already. So come here and download it. So you can see the icon is different, right? The logo for Chrome for developers is different. You see that there will be some dev there. If making it different from normal development where you only see run logo over there. So this one, there's written dev over there, right? Another one I like to develop called Mozilla. Now, though you may not use Mozilla for normal browsing, but Mozilla has also built one for developers, special one. So Mozilla for developers. You can see over here. So you click that one. Firefox Mozilla for Developers Edition. Yeah, you it's advisable to use the two of them, right? And both Chrome for developers, Chrome Dev, and Mozilla for developers too, right? So that one too looks different. Its icon is blue, kind of icy blue kind of stuff. So you also click it. You also click the download and it starts with it, right? Firefox Developer Edition. So I'll open very soon and show you how it looks. Okay. Looks like I'm downloading. Let me cancel it. I already have been downloaded, so when I click, it'll start downloading. I see over here. So yeah. So let's look at how the Chrome for developers look, right? It looks kind of different from the normal Chrome browser, right? Chrome Dev looks different. So when you launch it, so this is the icon of how Chrome Dev is going to look. You can see the icon over there. And this is the icon of how Safari Developer Edition is going to look. And this is the visual code that you downloaded previously, right? Before I come to download the Chrome Dev and the Safari Dev, right? Sorry, the Firefox Dev, right? So this how their icon looks, right? So we were explaining about the Chrome Dev, and this how the interface looks when you open it, right? So when you open it, this how it looks. It's similar to the normal Google Chrome, but this one it has certain added features to it that enhance developers to what do more. So when I click on this icon over there and go to more and go to developer tools, now with this you can click the shortcut to just go straight to there. Control Shift I, then it will turn it straight there. And if you're on Windows, you can press F12, you send it to there. And Mac OS too, it has its own function key. I don't realize F12 also, but try F12, it can send you there. My best way is to what? Click Control Shift and I. It will send you there. So if I click on it, it will send out to the developers mode, right? And that's where the power lies. So if you realize, when I was using the normal Chrome browser, right, I was still able to come here, right? But with the developer tools too, this developer tool on Chrome Dev is more power than the one I was using it on a normal browser, right? This is more powerful than the one I was using it on a normal browser. So it has certain inbuilt features. So as time goes on, we are using it, you realize its power it has, right? So let's see whether we can still perform. JavaScript code here, patience. Let's see console log. Then let's see. Let's do some addition, right? So 5. Okay, let's do the same addition. Let's see. 2 plus 3. All right. So let's see. Yeah, it's giving us 5 here. It's Chrome Dev, right? The same thing over here as we use with the normal Chrome. So it has certain inbuilt feature that as time goes and we use it, you shall see it beauty and its hardcore feature it has, and what differs it from the normal browser, the normal Chrome browser, right? So let's check out with the Chrome Safari, right? Let's check out with the Chrome Safari. Let's off. Let's check out the Firefox, right? So I was saying Chrome Safari, sorry, it's a mistake. Firefox, right? Mozilla Firefox, not Chrome Safari. I mean, what's Chrome Safari? There's nothing like Chrome Safari. It's Firefox. I was friends Firefox, sorry, Mozilla Firefox. So this is it. This is the interface, the UI, how it looks, UI interface. Right, as user interface UI, and as you can see, it looks similar to the normal Mozilla browser, but as the same as the Chrome, it will get certain enhanced feature, right? So the Mozilla Firefox, right, has certain enhanced feature than the normal Firefox browser, right? So, and that will come for its developers too. So if you're a developer, it's very advisable to be using what, the developer browser edition. This one too, you come here, icon is over here, icon over here. Then you go to more tools. Then you come to web developer tools, right? You can also use Control Shift I. You just go there, right? And it's the same key shortcut to the Chrome there, right? It's almost the same. Control Shift I, the same thing, and the same thing Firefox. So when you click on it, it's send you there, right? Now one may argue that why they used to get the two of them. Why won't I get only one? I mean, just get two Chrome Dev or just get Mozilla Firefox Developer Edition and just use it. Just one. Well, you are right. Well, you can just use one, but each of them have their, each of them, right? They have their own what, fallback, right? There's fallback for each of them, right? So as time goes on, we start using them. You realize it yourself, right? We shall pinpoint for you to realize it yourself that what, each of them has what, certain fallback, right? So this is how it looks. This is how Chrome looks over here. And normally they are best used in dark mode, right? So they normally come in dark mode. So when open it, so we shall learn more about it. We shall go do more about it. Console over here. Right. The console you saw in the Chrome Dev is the same one you can see over here in the Mozilla Developers Edition. So when I type console.log, let me see whether I can perform JavaScript code here. Console.log, and when I do my simple addition over here, I can still do it in Mozilla Firefox 2, right? Let me see this time. I've gotten everything. Okay. When I write and enter, you can see it's the same thing. We got a 5. So we can perform JavaScript code there in the Mozilla Firefox console what application. So you'll be using this tool enhance with other dev tools. So these are the 3 main dev tools I'll encourage you to install now. So as time goes on, we'll be installing other necessary dev tools we'll be using, right? So these are the 3 main stuffs I'll encourage you to install currently, right? They are the 3 main one. That's Visual Studio Code, Google Chrome Dev, and Mozilla Firefox, right? So as time goes on, you'll be installing other dev tools. Now, under this last part, I would like to introduce, which is the console applications, right? Now, console applications are they are tools, right, that aid programmers in developing applications, right, in coding, right? And we have customs ones available, right? So the best customs ones are So let's look at what it is. Git, right? So Git is a console app that enables us to or aid us in programming, right? So with the Git app I showed you earlier on, if Git is a free and open source for distributed version control, tracking changes. So this is, and it's also written in Python, C, C++, Perl. This is a, and it's being used, right? Git is a console app that is being used by programmers to perform or help programmers in coding, writing software. So with the Git app I showed you earlier on that we were going through codes written, codes of open source. You want to publish code there, use Git, right? And it's also very helpful in programming, right? It's one of the most powerful console applications out there, right? So I would like you to download it too, because we'll be using this a lot, right? In publishing codes on GitHub, right? In our next session. So let's download it down. So you come here, come for download for Windows. When you click on it, it'll start downloading. It is sent to the point for you to download, right? Let's see. So this setup is 32-bit Git for Windows and 64. So this one depends on the OS, right? Your OS, your operating system, OS, right? System as OS. Your operating system. What do you? So I'm using 64. If I click on it, it will start spinning off for download. And if you look here, okay, so let me just cancel it. I mean, I have it been installed, right? So I just cancel it. So when it's done, so you must install it. So when you're done installing it, you come here. Then you go to the showing folder where it is. Then you run it. Then you execute it. Then you what? Execute it, right? You're going to execute what it. And you can also use this, this over here. This line of code, right? To download it. If you use through your command prompts, right? So with the command prompt I show you, this tool is a console app we're using a lot, right? So if you can also copy this, sorry, yeah, copy this and paste it here. So when I click enter, it will download it for me, right? So there is also, so the command prompt you're seeing here is this software you're seeing here being open is a console application, right? That you can also use to code, right? You can even write code here and run it to get your software, right? Yeah. So that was the beauty of it. You can write Python, you can start to write Python codes over here. So let's spin it off, let me show you. And write Python, when I type in Py, it will start to spin off an interface for me to be able to do Python calculations, right? So when I do 2 plus 3 over here and I type enter, I'll get 5, right? The same as I was able to do it in my console, in my web browser console. Yeah, so that's the same thing I'm able to do in my Windows command prompt. So if you're on Mac OS, you can also use your Mac OS terminal to do the same thing, right? And you can also use the Git too, the software, this console app I'm downloading to do the same thing, right? So after you are done downloading it, you're going to get downloading and installing it. You're going to get these 3 applications out of it, right? Git GUI, that's the graphic user interface GUI, GUI. It's called GUI. So Git GUI, Git Bash, and Git Command. So you get the 3 main stars. So let's click on Git Bash, and you realize what it looks the same as what the Windows command prompt over here, right? So yeah, you see, this and this are almost the same, right? They almost look the same. So there is our Git Bash over here. Yes. That you can also use to what perform steps with it, right? But won't be going deep into that. We won't be doing experiment here. So with the next sessions, we'll be using it a lot for other stuffs. So get it downloaded and let's see the get CMD the get command prompt, right? So this get command prompt is the Windows version, like it pulls Windows command prompt features, right? Like as you can see over here to 8, so you can see pull this feature to C users Emmanuel, C CSC users Emmanuel, right? C users Emmanuel. The same thing over here, so you can perform uh, Windows command prompt exclusive kind of command directly over here, and you can also perform get UIs using this. So this is a UI setting get basic command using UI, right? But what we're using most is the get bash, right? We're using this one, the get bash, right? So this one looks different from this. This looks different. This looks different from this. Look, this looks different from this. Yeah, this looks different. You see, this is Emmanuel at desktop. So it looks different from this. Yes. So using this one, just get console app mostly. This is what we're using, right? But I get GUI, but I get graphic user interface as and that's a UI component, right? So we won't be using it much. I mean, we want code, we want a raw code, right? It's more powerful when you use the console app, right? So with the Git GUI, it's not a console app, right? It's a graphic user interface. This is how it looks. It's different from the other Git console app. So this is not a console. This is the Git graphic user interface. That's why it's called Git GUI. So Git graphical interface. The GUI stands for graphical user interface, right? So this is the Git in a form of what? Graphic user interface. For those who are not that comfortable with console applications. But with this, you're going to you must make sure you become comfortable with it, and you will make it comfortable with it so that you use console apps a lot to aid you in your computer programming. So let's download this software and let's get ready for our next session. So with our next session, we will be going to web development. Yeah, so that will be from day 2 to day 6 or so. So let's get this started. And after your setup, we shall go into our follow-up session to see whether you have difficulties in installing and setting up your development environment. Thank you.